gentlemen, welcome to the main event.
Let's get ready to rumble! This one by Mattingly. Oh, hang on to the roof. Montana looking, throwing in the end zone. 5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes! Little roller up along first. Behind the man. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight and the Mets win it.
Yes, welcome back. This is Sports and Sorts, episode 179. We are live on a Monday morning, and if you want to be notified when we go live, click that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and you will be notified whenever we go live. And also, if you can do us a favor, give us the video a thumbs up. All of that helps, getting the word out there. Share it with your friends. And also, you can find Sports and Sorts anywhere podcasts are played. You can find us on Facebook.com/Shane and the Bryman, on Twitter @Shane and the Bryman, where we post all of our videos and other newsworthy topics. Also, website where all of our social media stuff is, www.sportsandsorts.libsyn.com. And I have one of your hosts. My name is Shane Moore.
And I'm the Bryman.
And if you comment during the show, we will put it on the screen. We got a great show. Let's go.
You are listening to Sports and Sorts with Shane and the Bryman.
All right, we got a lot to talk about today. We got some MLB to talk about, some NBA to talk about, and also NFL draft. Bryman just slipped that in at the end. Says he has some stuff he wants to talk about. I'm not a big NFL draft guy. The Bryman, fortunately for us, I was going to say unfortunately, but that wouldn't have made sense. Fortunately for us, he does love the NFL draft, so we're going to talk about that.
True.
All right, first things first.
Play ball!
The state of the Yankees.
Yes, so I was at the game on Saturday. Got to see Masahiro, the guy that I have always said that I love as a pitcher. I have always been behind this guy. Pitched a great game. Went 7 strong. Had like 7 or 8 Ks. One run in that, and of course it was a home run because he has to give up that one solo shot.
Right.
Pitched a great game. Yankees had a good day. Back-to-back, a belly-to-belly. The last 2 times that me and my son have gone there, that has happened. Back-to-back and a belly-belly. And then also got to see my boy DJ LeMahieu hit a home run. It was a good day. It was just a good day. It was a really fun time. Got to go with a bunch of friends, some long-time friends. I've been friends with one of these guys. There's a particular one guy. He's like my best friend. He's one of my best friends. He's the man. He's the one that puts the strip together. His name's Kyle, and he and I have been friends since kindergarten. That's a long time. That's a long time. So we've been friends forever, and and his sister has a new child. They got on the jumbotron. It was a great day. Great day. I mean, they got the glasses with the afros on, the little kid with the glasses and afro. It's awesome. Wow. Good times. So it was a lot of fun. I was disappointed to see that Aaron Judge went out with an oblique. He's like hobbling down the line like he hurt his leg. And the Bryman was texting me. He's like, I don't know. It looks like an oblique. And I was like, okay, it seemed weird that he would be running down the line like that, but because it did. I mean, he was kind of hopping down the line.
I saw it too, and I think the pain was just so much in his side and so deep that he just couldn't walk because he couldn't run because it would hurt. Yeah, it would hurt him.
Like when you bruise your ribs or something like that, and you run, it hurts like hell.
Yeah, it hurts. You breathe and it hurts.
Yeah, so it really stung. I mean, that's a big deal. That is a huge issue. I mean, Aaron Judge being hurt, huge. It's huge, but at the same time, we have so many outfielders, it's not going to be detrimental to our success in the short term. I feel like if he comes back sometime around the All-Star break or a little after the All-Star break,
I think that's what he's coming back.
I think that it should be okay. Mainly because Sanchez is coming back. Stanton is hitting. He's going to come back relatively soon. I mean, Stanton, he is like fourth in the team in walks still. He only played the first week of the season. And he's still like fourth in the team in walks. So he's going to come back. He's an on-base machine. Aaron Hicks will eventually come back. He's an on-base guy. You know, I think we're going to be okay. I mean, we still have DJ LeMahieu who's been ripping the ball. I mean, even when he hits outs, they're like line shot outs. I mean, the guy hits a lot of atom balls. Yeah. And you have Clint Frazier, who has been a man on fire.
My man.
Which is great. You have CeCe coming back, pitching well. You have Paxton stepping up and pitching like we want him to pitch. And Tanaka been pitching like the ace that he kind of always has been. So I am not... As I'm saddened by his loss because Aaron Judge in the lineup as a Gold Glove caliber right fielder, as a guy who's going to get on base at least once or twice every single game because they're just going to pitch around him, or he's going to hit the ball out of the ballpark, or he's going to hit a line drive somewhere. He's a very good player. The problem is with him is you can almost guarantee he's going to be on the DL. I mean, this is like third year in a row. He's had DL kind of issues or symptoms.
Well, last year's DL stint with Judge didn't concern me as an epidemic kind of thing or a chronic thing because he got hit in the hand and he fractured his, he chipped a bone in his wrist.
But these guys are so big and strong.
What concerns me, though, with guys like Judge and guys like Stanton is these muscle oblique injuries because, for starters, when you get these injuries, you're out for like a minimum of 2 months.
Yeah.
You strain a muscle in that area where you're producing this violent swing, where so much of the swing is happening because your body is turning, and it's a really, really tough injury to go through. And then, your team has to kind of sustain itself for a couple of months with these big sluggers out of the lineup for so long. Now, I think one of the things that really upsets me, maybe more than anything else, about what the Yankees did or did not do this offseason and what's transpiring now is the injuries. I'm not going to include Didi because that injury goes back to last year. Yeah. But all these other injuries that they've shown it the last couple days on the Yes Network around the diamond. The Yankees have a virtual all-star team of players that are out right now.
Yeah.
And look, if you want to say one guy, two guys, three guys, I'll even give you 4 guys go down. Okay, it happens, right? Stuff happens. 10 guys? No. At some point, you cannot chalk this up to coincidence. At some point, you have to start pointing fingers because, yes, injuries happen, but they should not happen at that kind of clip where half of your team is going down. And you've got guys going down at every position. It is unbelievable. And I start to wonder... the Yankees say they sink so many resources and so much money and so much funding into their strength and conditioning. Mm-hmm. And yet all I see are these guys like Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton walking around looking like statues. They're these guys who are built like Greek gods, but they seem more stiff than flexible. And I'm sorry, how are you not running, especially knowing baseball, the kind of injury, the kind of sport it is, where all your body parts are involved, legs, arms, torso, everything. Everything is moving in baseballs. When you're running, when you're swinging, when you're fielding, everything is in motion. These guys need to be... I would much, much rather have a team that is flexible and limber and does more yoga and Pilates than they are in the weight room. We were texting about this yesterday. And I said to the Yankees text group, I'm like, and we were talking about, these guys with these, perfect baseball bodies. And my brother was joking about Mike Ford. He's like, I want the Mike Ford body. That's a fun one to get. You're just eating and drinking or whatever.
Still, batting zero, by the way.
Well, no, he got a hit.
Did he?
Yeah, he got a double. He got a double, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right. But then I'm like, you know what? You know who's got the perfect baseball body is Christian Yelich. Thin, wiry. He's flexible. He's limber. The guy does not get hurt. I mean...
Not yet. He's young.
No, I know. But you know what, though? Like, that's the kind of body, though, that probably is sustainable over a much longer career.
I have my feelings about Christian Yelich, too. You don't put up numbers like Bonds / A-Rod without having some eyebrows raised, in my opinion.
Well, look, that's the era that we live in, and unfortunately, that is the era that guys like Bonds and Clemens and McGuire and Sosa have created for us. Canseco too, because they've created that environment, and that's not Christian Yelich's fault that environment was created. But yes, I agree with you. He has to be. Sorry, I mean, you're right. I mean, you have to be somewhat of a suspect. Yeah. You have to be a bit suspect about that because.
Particularly because up until last year, he wasn't this kind of guy.
Well, he was good, but he wasn't this. No. He's now he's going on.
And he could be. This could be who he is going forward. But
sure. He's following
from
up.
Barry Bonds when he first came up, he was great.
Yes.
Griffey Jr. when he came up, he was great. These guys were great when they first came up. He was like an average player when he came up. That's what he was. He wasn't great. And then all of a sudden now he's people are saying he's better than Mike Trout.
He's following. I wouldn't say that. He's following up an MVP campaign with another MVP campaign. That's what he's doing, which is very impressive. The only thing I'll say about Yelich is that look, unlike with a lot of these guys, there was no real change in body type or anything like that.
No,
body type has always been
Cano's body type was the same the whole time.
Right, it was.
D. Gordon's body didn't change much.
But I also think that that's a result too of now the drugs catch up. You know, like the technology is actually the thing that has to catch up with the drugs.
Yes.
Because the drugs are always being modified. They're always being tampered with, and and so they make it so that the testing is always a step behind. I hope to God. I mean, I love Christian Yelich. I really, really hope. God, I really hope he's not a guy that would be on roids. But you don't know. I mean, it is really. It's hard to say.
Yeah.
He seems to me to be a character guy, though, especially last year. What was it? What was that? Who did he go off on last year? He went off on Machado.
On his own teammate?
On Machado. No, he went off on Machado after him, during the, if you recall there, during whatever, the the LCS or the LDS or whatever. And, I just, you would hope that a guy like that who speaks with such high character would not be doing something like that on the side. But then again, you've got guys like Rafael Palmeiro who pointed their finger at Congress. I mean, so who knows? You don't know. We're all hiding some kind of a secret, right? We've all got some skeleton in the closet. Maybe this is, I hope that's not the case with Yelich. But look, but you do have to admit, though, with all these injuries that the Yankees are sustaining, it's curious. Like, you get mad about it, and you do, like, naturally want to point a finger. And I do. I want to point a finger at this strength and conditioning staff because I'm thinking to myself, how the hell is this happening? How is this happening? And most of these injuries that these guys are getting are muscle kind of injuries. They're muscle-related injuries.
And I know for a fact Giancarlo Stanton does do yoga. But they have to work on something. Because the problem is it's just too many muscles. I understand it's just too muscular. It's like being a bodybuilder who's trying to play baseball.
There's a guy.
You got to have a little bit of that fat on you. Like a little bit. Right. Even when I was in, I was joking with my wife, I don't know, about a month or two ago. And I was saying, because my son was asking me, he's like, how good a shape do you think you are? He's like, do you think you're in better shape now than you were ever? And I said, it's different. Do I think I was in better shape when I was in college and I was playing baseball at a high level? Yes. But do I look like I'm in better shape now? Yes. Because now I am a little bit more cut, a little bit more lean. Whereas back then I didn't have like great abs or anything like that. I was thick and strong. I was able to squat 400 pounds, and I was really strong. I could run, 2 to 3 miles after every practice, and then come back, hop on the bike, and and I could just go, and it was different. But I would also eat a ton, and I wasn't eating as healthy, so it's different.
You had that amazing
I could not do anything
on your side
yes,
too.
I could not do any of the stuff that I used to be able to do. Right. But I look like I might be in better health and shape now than I was back then. So it's very different. So it's one of those things, like when you're playing those sports, you kind of have to like they always joke about the quarterback body, and like they're not ripped. They kind of have like they're kind of a little lumpy, you know, like
Soft.
they gotta like take the hits because you gotta be able to absorb it. And if you're complete shredded, you're not going to be able to absorb it. It's just it's you pad onto muscle, and that's it. And now you're going to get tons of contusions, and there's no extra padding.
Right.
And you kind of need that even in baseball.
It looks nice. It looks great.
Yeah.
It's nice to look at. There is a guy, and then this will be a little bit of a teaser towards what we'll talk about the NFL draft. There is a guy coming out in this draft who I believe his name is DK Metcalf, and I believe he's a wide receiver. I believe he's absolutely chiseled. Like I would want him as a statue in my yard if I was really rich and weird. But he has 1.9% body fat, I think, and that scares the hell out of me. Like I would not want to, and he is by all accounts, a first-round talent. I wouldn't touch him. I wouldn't touch him because that's an injury after injury after injury waiting to happen. And in football, if you lose 2 months, you lose half the season.
Yeah.
Some
of the wide receivers are a little bit more shredded than. I mean, they do get a little shredded because they have to be streamlined, quick, fast twitch muscles, all that kind of stuff. That's a little different, but.
If you ask me the kind of wide receiver that I would want from a body type perspective, give me AJ Green all day long. And lean. Yes. To me, that's the perfect wide receiver.
All the time, though.
But the build is right though. He's got a really good that to me. That long, lean build for a wide receiver is good. That kind of wiry build. I mean, look, if you can give me a Jerry Rice body, great, because Jerry Rice never got hurt, and
Terrell Owens never got hurt either. He was ripped.
T.O. is like the one outlier that I can kind of think of, because I was just thinking about that. I was like, well, T.O. was really, really ripped, still is, and yet he really didn't get hurt.
Yeah, Chris Carter wasn't ripped, but he was in good shape. You know,
like
a lot of those guys. Yeah.
Yep. I mean, I agree with you. Like, you want guys to have a little bit of fat on them because yes, they need to be able to. It just your body's not as tight, and you need to be, especially in the NFL, need to be able to absorb a blow or two. But yes, the big thing with the Yankees. The theme so far of this year, I mean, I'm sorry, it's the injuries. The fact that they're 11-10, I don't know if that's a testament or if it's just, whatever. But the injuries have to be the story.
It just shows how deep
they are. Be some accountability for it.
It really just shows how deep in stats.
Well, look, guys like Tauchman are stepping up, and Gio Urshela, who actually Gio Urshela looks like a nice player.
He's a nice little player, yeah.
He
absolutely.
does. He
is a much better version of Torres.
Yeah, I would agree.
Much better. I mean, I don't know how he is in the clubhouse or anything. I know that he was a great clubhouse guy, but Urshela just is a slick fielder, really slick fielder, and on top of that, he has a little bit of a stick. And my man Clint Frazier has really stepped up from a production. He's giving them the production that you need from Stanton. Snap? Yeah, I know he wants a new nickname. Yeah. I know he's moved past Red Thunder. I don't know. I think Catman or something like that is I think my brother said Catmandu, which was kind of funny. They need to move. Yeah, whatever. I don't care about his nickname. Just keep producing. Yeah. If you want to keep posting Instagrams of your cat. He's another one that's kind of ripped too. I mean, he's just muscly.
Oh, he's right. He is, and he's another guy that kind of concerns you.
See, and then the weird thing is that you have somebody like Sanchez who's not ripped. He's got the body type that you want. But he keeps getting he keeps getting hurt too. So
he does. He gets picked up.
So all of these guys, it's not just the ripped guys. Everyone is getting hurt. And it's that. Yeah, I think I am 100% with you. We've mentioned it before on the show how at what point do you take that the trainer staff and be like, all right, you guys are screwing up big time. Yeah, you guys are doing something you can't have bad luck like this for 3 years in a row. Yeah. That's not how that works.
And I'm not saying that guys shouldn't lift. I mean, yeah, fine.
You have to lift.
Professional athletes, you have to, right? Yeah, but there's got to be a better balance. Yeah. There's got to be a better balance.
Well, it's the diet more than it is the lifting.
Yeah, maybe.
That's what it is. I mean, because you're taking in tons of protein, not a lot of carbs, not a lot of fat, and you need the carbs and you need the fat. You have to be more well balanced. And I mean, you don't get shredded like Giancarlo Stanton if you're taking in, 25, 30 grams of fat a day.
Yeah, right.
I mean, 25 to 30% of fat a day.
Right.
You know, I don't know what his calorie intake is, but you know, you just can't get shredded like that if you're
Right.
taking in 30% fat. But which is probably what he should be doing in this at this time.
Yeah.
But I don't
And
know.
now-
Everybody's body type's different. He obviously does yoga. He is into that, but something's got to change because there's too many people. It's not just the Giancarlo Stantons and the Aaron Judges of the world. It's everyone.
Look around the diamond. They have what you could feel, including one starting pitcher and one reliever. You could theoretically have an all-star team.
Yeah.
With the guys that are now on the shelf. It's unheard of.
We
I
have
just
2 shortstops on the DL. Which I will say, I will give a little bit of props to Gleyber Torres. He has been playing well. Still makes some mental mistakes, but he has been playing well at short.
Yeah,
I will
that
give him a little bit of props.
I know that surprises you more than it does me. It doesn't surprise me that much.
It's more the mental stuff that just drives me crazy. The guy who's playing short has to be the smartest person on the diamond, at least up there, because he needs to know where everything to go at every single time. On top of that, he needs to be able to help everybody else around him. Up the middle, you have to be very strong, and he just makes he kind of dazes off every once in a while, and you can't have that. You got to know exactly where to go. The
other thing that we need to talk about is this bullpen, which everyone labeled, even with Betances out, this bullpen received that dumb paper tag of best bullpen on paper, and they are really not. Chad Green is a mess, and I'm worried about Chad Green because
I think people have figured out his fastball. I mean,
maybe they either have figured it out or something is wrong. And then look, Adam Ottavino has just been completely hit or miss, and I mean that like literally. The guy,
you think he can still strike out Babe Ruth?
The guy who supposedly would strike Babe Ruth out 10 out of 10 times can't even meander his way through the Royals lineup without giving up 5 runs in a heartbeat or 4 runs in a heartbeat.
Alex Gordon is basically Babe Ruth.
I guess. And then who was the guy? And then who took him deep after that? Dozier? Babe Ruth.
It's not good.
10 out of 10. I'll strike Babe Ruth out every time.
Every time.
Yeah. How's that ERA, Adam?
It's still in the 3s.
Is it? No,
Yeah.
it can't.
Is it really? I think it's like 3.5.
Well, actually, I guess that makes sense because some of those runs that he gave up yesterday were probably charged to Chad Green.
Over the last 9 days, over the last 7 days, his ERA is 9.
On the flip side,
just yesterday it was 27.
Tommy Cantley's looked more like 2017 Tommy Cantley, which is good.
Yeah. Britton.
So, maybe those things
played well last night.
Britton's fine. Britton is solid. Cantley has looked more like his 2017 self, which is good.
Aroldis is trying to figure it out. He's not sharp.
He's not sharp, but he's not bad. He got out of one yesterday, and because that looked like as soon as Hamilton got out, I was like, oh man, that's a run. That's going to be a run because he's going to steal second, maybe third,
and he did,
and he's going to get in just by accident.
Yeah.
And they, Chapman, luckily Chapman's got the strikeout weapon. So, but I'll tell you, this bullpen is nowhere near up to stuff. They do need Betances back badly.
The good news is the starting staff has been pitching pretty well.
Pretty well.
CC's been very good. Tanaka.
CC given up a run good. In 10 innings? Has he given up? Yeah.
I don't know. He might not have.
I think he has.
Yeah.
And Paxton has been lights out in his last 2 starts.
Last 2 starts.
And if there's anybody
he's got 24 strikeouts in the last 2 starts.
24 in the last 2. He did 12 and 12. Yeah. If there's anybody you want to feel bad for in yesterday's win, which was a good win, but it was also disappointing. Paxton's the guy to feel bad for.
Oh yeah, because he didn't get the win.
He didn't get the win, and he went 6 innings, no runs, 12 strikeouts. He did say after the Boston start that there were, he said he had found something in his delivery that he wasn't doing last year, and he started doing it again, or something like that. And now through 2 starts, you're kind of like, okay, this is the guy we're going to get. What a trade!
Looks good.
And then I was like, I think I was texting the group yesterday, and I was like, why did the Mariners trade this guy again? I don't get it. A power left-handed pitcher in his early 30s. Why are you trading him? I actually asked it at the time. Why are they trading him? Was it the only thing I could think of was just because he's never really been healthy to the point where he just hasn't been able to pitch 160 innings in a year. I mean, but is that it?
My only thing is that it's got to be money issues, like being able to just restock the farm system. Like,
I guess.
That's the only
I
thing
guess.
I can really think
You know
of.
what? If he was, instead of being, whether I think he's 31, if he was 29 instead of 31.
I mean, plus it seemed like the Mariners were just trying to regroup. Like, they're trying to restock, and they're really trying to start from scratch. They started off this year really well. I don't expect it to continue. It hasn't been continuing. They are starting to dwindle down, as well as the Rays. The Rays are starting to, like, we are 2.5 games back now,
right?
Which is great. In the first,
that was
Blake
one of those
Snell
things.
being hurt for a little while, dropping something on his toe. He broke his toe. It just sucks for him. It sucks for me because he's on one of my fantasy teams. But he is, being hurt, and he's supposed to come back right off when the 10-day DL's up. But overall, it's a good situation. We're not. The end is not near anymore. Things are okay.
Well, so here's the other thing too. Speaking of the Rays, I was really disappointed. Like, what I was hoping from that series was I didn't want it to be a sweep. I was hoping it would be like the Rays would win because I don't again. I've said since the get-go that Boston is not going to go away. If you're thinking that they're not going to be a good team this year, you're nuts. I'm sorry. The talent is still all there. Their lineup is still really deep. And those pitchers are eventually going to come around. They just are.
I would be shocked. I'd be shocked at any of these analysts or anybody out there that would still think after the not even first month of the season, that the Yankees and Red Sox are probably not going to finish 1 and 2.
They are going to finish. I still think they're going to finish 1 and 2.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a matter of where you think the Rays are going to finish.
Well, they're going to finish. I mean, I still think the Rays are going to finish 3, but as I said, I think the Rays are going to be a pain in the butt this year, and that's obviously. I guess, look, if you want to look at it two ways, one, it kind of sucks that the Rays couldn't do their part to maybe help bury Boston a little bit more. On the flip side of that, the Yankees have taken 5 of 6 and now have crept to within 2.5 games of first place. So, I mean, and look at if you're the Yankees at this point, all you're trying to do is like survive. And win and survive, and then try and it's almost like the NCAA tournament, survive in advance. Like just try and sustain these injuries as long as you can until guys start coming back. I think Stanton's coming back next week. Sanchez comes back Tuesday, so why not? If you could just hold on and get some of these guys back. I mean, yeah, it's gonna suck without Judge, but you know what? They managed without Judge last year.
Yeah.
But you need more of these. You gotta get more of these guys back. Now, if you're in it, if you're in the thick of it by the All-Star break, let's say you're either plus or minus, give or take, 3 games, up or down.
Yeah.
By the time the All-Star break rolls around, they're in great shape because then you'll have Judge and Didi will both be back. Presumably, everybody else will have already been back. So reinforcements are on the way. But what scares me is going into this West Coast trip because this is like, the West Coast is the Yankees' dreaded house of horrors. They always play
you
down.
Want to play 500 ball. And
Yes, you want to. It's exactly what I was going to say. Come out of the West Coast, 500, and I'll be okay with that. I'll be okay, especially with the injuries. I'll be okay with that. I mean, even if they weren't injured, I probably would have said the same thing. I would have been like, just get out of there at 500, and don't lose any more ground.
Yeah.
But
they really got to still be on the winning side of 500 though when they leave the West Coast. If they can be.
Is it 9 games? I don't know how many games they're playing. They're playing 10. They're probably playing 10.
Yeah, I could find out.
Because they've got 4 against Anaheim, which means they probably got 3 against Seattle and 3 against Oakland or something.
Yeah, they have.
I mean, yeah, you'd want to go.
See. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then 9, and then they go back home. So yeah, right, 9 games.
I'll take 5 and 4 or 5. Yeah, I might take 4 and 5.
It's Angels, Giants, Diamondbacks.
Oh, that's right. It's the Giants and Diamonds, right? It's not Oakland and Seattle. Okay. Yeah.
Giants are bad though.
Yeah, and I know they're not good.
And
that's one where you got to take 2 or 3.
There's a 60% chance they're going to face off. The Angels have been playing terrible. I don't know how they are finished, like how they're last in their division right now, but they've been playing horrible. The Giants are not that great this year, but if we have to face Mad Bum, you could consider that probably going to be a loss or it's going to be close.
Depends on unless it's Paxton that he's going up against, maybe.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, it really depends. I mean, it should be close game no matter what, but because the Giants just don't have much offense, and then the Diamondbacks, it's kind of it's going to be really how rested they are. I mean, it's only a 2-game series that they're playing against the Diamondbacks, so it's nothing crazy. And then we play the Twins and then the Mariners at home. So So that should be all right. I mean, the Twins are they're better, they're much improved, but they're still not. I mean, they're not anything to be really scared of.
So, like I said, survive in advance. Try and get through. These again. I would within that time span though. So I don't know when Stanton's coming back. Actually,
He's supposed to come back on the West Coast trip.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah.
So Sanchez is back Tuesday. Mm-hmm. So if you get those two guys back, that's a major injection into the lineup.
Yes.
Here's the thing though, with Stanton, he needs to finally show up. I mean, this guy needs to finally show up and start producing because they need him. They need his bat. Mm-hmm. It's fun for us to get on. It's actually not fun for us to get on him. I'd rather not get on him. But because I was so worried from the time that they traded for him was that this was the next A-Rod, this sort of statuesque guy who looks good, but is he going to produce when it matters? Is he going to produce in the clutch? And so far, you haven't seen that in over a year.
Yeah.
So
he's not really a produce in the clutch kind of guy though. I mean, he's more just like he's not the kind of guy that I see and I'm like, oh yeah, this is the guy you want up in a big spot.
Right. He's not. He's the last guy you want up in a big spot.
It's not even that. It's because he could get a walk.
I mean, at least
but he's not going to get a big hit. It's like he's either going to get you a home run or that's it. Like,
I mean, at least in 2009, A-Rod you wanted up in a big spot.
Yeah, in 2009.
In 2009. That's why I limited that to that one time. Mm-hmm. Like Barry Bonds, like back in 2002 or whatever. He was the guy, you always wanted up.
Beltran
and Bonds
had that time, where he was
with
Astros, who was just like home run after home run, home run.
Right. Now, as we all know, in hindsight, A-Rod was, of course, on steroids in 2009. Yeah. So,
weird.
That's
never happens.
Right. Yeah.
Chase Utley, he was another big one. He took us deep a lot of times. That was
he was annoying.
Yeah.
In 2009.
Yeah. There's a lot of guys that you definitely don't want up in big spots throughout years, and seems like it's going to be an interesting season. How this goes out, how this all plays out with the injured list and disabled.
It's just unbelievable. I hate that this is the theme of this team.
Yeah.
Injuries.
All right, let's change topics and get on into the NBA playoffs. Quick, I have to get into this because I enjoy it so much. I love when Russell Westbrook is seemingly going to get bounced out in the first round of the playoffs. So exciting. I can't stand the dude. It's not that he's overrated because he's a super, super talented guy. Super talented. But he's so just unlikable. The way that he plays, the way that he interacts with fans, the way that he does everything. Just like he is a ball hog, he is a spotlight hog. You just want everything about him, and he's not the best point guard in the league. He's not the best shooting guard in the league. He's just not the best player in the league. I don't care how many triple-doubles he gets, he's not that great. I would take at least 2 handfuls of guys over that guy. At least. Probably you're talking 20 guys over him just because he's like a cancer to a clubhouse. I mean, he has a good team. And he even yesterday didn't put up any numbers. Paul George leading the way again. They didn't do anything. You know what happened? The better point guard won. Damian Lillard comes through. Him, CJ McCollum, they going through and just ripping the nets over and over and over again. And that's what I like to hear, and that's what I like to see.
He's just a selfish player.
Yes.
He's not. I mean, look, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I don't think that's in question. But he is.
Oh yeah.
An absolute selfish guy. He's not the kind of guy. He's not the kind of guy I'd want on my team. That's all I can tell you.
You had guys like Allen Iverson, who they weren't just like he wasn't a selfish guy. He was just a pure scorer. And he was quick on defense. Like he could get a lot of steals. He was different than Russell Westbrook.
Yes.
Like you could see how people could like Allen Iverson.
I never thought of Iverson as selfish.
No, because he was a pure scorer. That's
He was a character. He was a character.
Yeah, and he killed across like that. He was just a machine and a small machine in that. But he wasn't the point guard. He wasn't. I mean, he was, but he wasn't. You know, like he was the shooting guard.
Yeah, he was.
And he was just a pure scorer. And I loved Allen Iverson, but I can't stand Russell Westbrook. And I don't know what it is about him besides just all the stuff that I said. But I am so happy to see him bounce out of the first round of the playoffs. Hopefully it continues with the Rip City, and I hope that they put it away. I think they're going to be playing tomorrow back in Portland, I believe, for Game 5. Yep. And then we have the Celtics, first team to sweep. I think as of right now, if you look at just everything in general, all the games across the board, you know, I think the Bucks are going to probably sweep tonight. The Rockets should probably sweep tonight. They took Utah's best punch, just the other night, and they still got the win. I can't imagine, unless the Rockets just come out and totally lay out like a complete egg, I can't see them not winning. They are a better team, and I love Donovan Mitchell, but I'm a Rockets fan. I see this team. They play better defense. They're more aggressive on defense. They really kind of righted the ship as the season went on, and they have this way about them that's just been a lot better than it was last year. And I will, I think it's what's his name, Daryl Morey. He is just done a great job as a general manager for the Rockets. Putting that team together, and it's been an interesting season, but they're the 4th seed. They're going to be going against Golden State next round, most likely. This is the thing that I'm shocked about is I can't believe the Clippers got a game against the Warriors. I can't believe, Brooklyn gets a game against the Sixers. Granted, they were playing without Embiid a little bit. And I can't believe Orlando gets a game against the Raptors. I mean, these are teams that should have just rolled through. The only one I'm really not surprised about is the Denver Nuggets versus San Antonio Spurs. That's like the one that, even though it's a 2 versus 7 seed, you have the coach, the team versus Denver Nuggets, which is a young team coming up. You could see how that could transpire into a really close.
Without a doubt. Yeah. And it's playing out that way. It's 2-2. The Spurs go back to Denver. The Spurs, listen. So the Spurs are going to have to win another road game. If they want to win this series. That's what it comes down to. They're going to have to take one more on the road, which they are capable of. But, like I said the other day, you really, if you're a Spurs fan, you really needed them almost to take those 2 at home because you just don't want to assume that you can get a win on the road in the playoffs. It's very hard to do. And credit to the Nuggets. They are a good team. They are now, again, the favorites to win the series. They have to be. So Pop's gonna have to outsmart him one more game on the road, and if I have a feeling that the series might go 7. I think it might go 7 because I could see Nuggets winning this home game, Spurs bouncing back at home, and then you're back in Denver for Game 7. I don't want that to happen, but you know what? That is the most likely scenario.
Yeah.
So I think. And in Game 7, I don't even want to make a prediction. It just could go either way. I trust the Spurs on the road. I trust the Spurs in big spots, mostly because of the coaching. The personnel is obviously very different from the dynasty years, but you know what? The coach is still the same guy, still the same great mind, and it's not like he has crap for personnel. He's got good players, But that's going to be tough. But that will be the closest series. The rest of these are all, for the most part. I'm really disappointed that the Pacers couldn't give the Celtics any kind of just nothing.
The Celtics are just a really good team, and they
I know
the Celtics were a 4 seed, but they were like them and the Rockets are 2 of the best 4 seeds that you'll ever see.
That annoys me though. Yeah. I don't want the Celtics to be this good.
Yeah.
I need them to bow out of these playoffs.
I am so interested with the second matchups. With the Sixers going against the Raptors, the Bucks go against the Celtics, the Rockets going against the Warriors, the Trailblazers going against either the Spurs or the Nuggets. I am really looking forward to this because, especially with the 2 teams that sweep in the first rounds. If you have the Celtics and the Bucks sweeping in the first round, them going ahead, I can't wait to see what the Celtics have in store for Giannis, because Giannis has been he's been unstoppable pretty much all season. And I can't wait to see the game plan that they have for him. Because Brad Stevens has something up his sleeve.
Not that I care so much about individual awards because I mostly don't, but this, I think, is one of the more intriguing MVP races. Between him and Harden. Yeah, I really do.
Yeah.
It's tough for me. I would probably lean Giannis, but
it's tough to go back to back. I mean, 36 points a game though. That's the
hasn't
been done since Jordan.
And that's what I'm talking
Jordan
about.
Jordan lost that year too, though. He lost the MVP award, and then when he went for 36.
The thing, yeah, and you know what it is? It's that like voters get like that. It's not. I don't know what the word is. It's you take it for granted. Essentially, you start to take a guy for granted. Like Mike Trout, you could give him the MVP award every year.
Russell Westbrook, he triple-double, averaged it 2 years in a row.
Sure.
Didn't win the award the second year, but won it easily the first year.
Right. I mean, you start to just say, okay, well, this is what I expect of this guy. So why should I keep giving him the MVP?
And it's not only that, but it's like then you kind of start to see the player that he actually is, because all the negativity that gets pointed out with Russell Westbrook, it was like, well, he was kind of making that triple double happen.
What I think makes this
having it happen
particular race so intriguing, though, is that it's one of those arguments where you could say, well, all right, if you take Harden from the Rockets and if you take Giannis from the Bucks, the impact to me is equal. I mean, you're taking two of the very best players in the league from their teams. Both of those teams, I don't even know if they're playoff team. I mean, I don't know if the Rockets are a playoff team without Harden. And I mean, the Bucks, if they are a playoff team, they're a 7 or an 8 seed and they're a first round exit. Mm-hmm. They're a nothing team without him. I shouldn't say a nothing team. It's a nice supporting cast, but Giannis is the straw that stirs the drink there. And Harden, you take away that guy, you're taking away 36 points a game.
That's a lot.
You do not replace that in a lineup. That's just not doable. Not one guy anyway.
It's a lot.
There's not one guy. Like maybe, okay, so let's say like Harden got hurt and was down for the year. Okay, you could insert one guy into that lineup, and you might get 15 points at that 36 in terms of production. But that's. Oh, by the way, speaking of Harden, I saw this great thing on Twitter the other day, where there was this guy in a Target. I don't know. I want to say it was probably in Houston. Uh-huh. He was in a Target, and he had the big Harden beard, and he had a Harden jersey on, like the black Harden jersey, and like the black shorts, right? And they were taking video, like so that there was somebody taking video, and he was going up to all these people. And he was doing like these Harden stutter step moves, like in front of them, like, and they would be like scared, right? They would be. It was great. Yes, he would be like stutter stepping back. Like all the Harden footwork.
That's awesome.
And it was absolutely hilarious. The best one, though, there's this one guy who's in the toy aisle with his kid. Kid's looking at toys. He's a dad. He's just like looking at his phone, right? And the Harden guy comes up to him. The whole frantic thing. And the guy just looks up and looks back down. Like no reaction whatsoever. It was great. It was hilarious, but he went up to like a couple of old women, and the old women would get startled.
Yeah.
Even most of the guys that he did got startled. Like, oh man, you scared the bleep out of me.
Yeah.
But it was really fun. It was like a really funny video.
That is good.
I would have laughed hysterically if I saw it. I'd have been like, oh, it's Harden.
I would have been like getting my stance and trying to jump.
I would have too. I would have been like. It's really funny. It's really funny.
That is great.
Yeah.
All right.
And then the last guy was like a Target employee, and the Target employee is like, I can throw you out of the store. He's like, for that?
For breaking you down? For
breaking
you down one-on-one? What?
Right. It was really funny.
You're taking your ball and going home? What's going on, Target guy?
Yeah. If you can find it, take a look at it.
I'm definitely going to check it out.
It's really funny.
All right. Now let's get into what the Bry Man wants to talk about. Because we just done this to death. I mean, I don't really want to get into the whole Butler, the 76ers with Butler and what's that guy's name? Bradley. And I don't want to get into all that because that guy's a moron. Brooklyn is just, I don't know how they got in the playoffs, but they played well enough to get there. And I just can't wait for them to be out. They're just annoying. There's players on teams that annoy me so much. And that guy, whatever his name is, I can't even remember it because he's not worth it. That guy is just useless, and I hope he's off the team next year. I hope he's off Brooklyn because I really like the 76ers. I just want them to mow past them, and I can't wait to see them play the Raptors. All right, let's get
That should be a good series, by the way, Raptors, Sixers.
Oh, I mean, there's so many good ones coming up. I mean, the Warriors, Rockets, and then you have the Bucks, Celtics, and then the Sixers, Raptors. I mean, that's great.
Hey, listen, again, the Raptors have a presumably healthy Chris Paul, right? So, excuse me, the Rockets. The Rockets have a presumably healthy Chris Paul. So,
play well.
Now you have that matchup that you wanted last year in a slightly more vulnerable Warriors team than even last year. So, maybe.
Defense,
I mean,
defense.
You got to like your chances at least. I'll say that.
Yeah. I mean,
it's not a given. To me, it's not a given that the Warriors are going to win that series.
I will say I am
cautiously optimistic.
I'm still not on the bandwagon of Mike D'Antoni, but I have been impressed with the way that things have been going over the last 2 years. I they retooled.
Well, it's hard to totally hate them, but
no, I've just been happy with the way they retooled, and kind of even because they retooled a way I didn't think was going to work. You know, getting rid of Ariza and all that kind of stuff. I was like, you were so close. All you needed was CP3, and you probably would have won. And then you go and get rid of guys. But PJ Tucker, great. You know, I mean, I've been very happy with him. Gerald Green's coming off the bench, raining threes. Clint Capella, I've always liked him. He's just a good guy. I mean, he's not going to do anything against Gobert inside because Gobert is just like 12 feet tall with a 19-foot wingspan. So you're not going to do anything against him. But it's been a very, very fun series to watch for me as a Rockets fan because they just keep winning. But I can't wait for the next. I am going to be very tired the next time around because when they play the Warriors, I am going to watch every single minute of those games, and I'm going to be exhausted. Yeah. So, all right, let's get into, before we leave. Go ahead, buddy. You want to talk about NFL draft?
Oh, man. This time of year.
You got like 2.5 minutes.
This is my favorite, as you know, my favorite non-sporting event.
Yes.
I should say my favorite non-athletic sporting event.
And this is something I never watch.
And I watch it religiously. I count down the days to the draft every year. It's amazing. Mm-hmm. There's two big stories here. One, there are now reports that Kyler Murray is not going to be picked by the Arizona Cardinals. Here's the one thing I would say about that. Because that story just broke yesterday. Mm-hmm. That now the Cardinals are saying they do not intend to select Kyler Murray. This is the season of lying and deceit and smokescreens in the NFL. Mm-hmm. Don't believe for a second that Cliff Kingsbury is not taking Kyler Murray because he most certainly is. The only thing the Cardinals are doing right now is attempting to drive up the price on Josh Rosen because they're not getting offers that they want. They clearly want a second rounder for him, and they're not getting anything above a third rounder, and that's what's happening. So there's nothing more. That story to me is such garbage. There's no way. Cliff Kingsbury came to the NFL to draft Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. There's no way that's not happening. So forget about that. And nobody's buying it either, which is, it's garbage. The other big story I think out of this, the Giants have 2 first-round picks, the 6 and the 17. Here's the thing for the Giants. They have a fan base right now that's really upset with them. Dave Gettleman is just a total head-scratcher of a human being. And I'm going to tell you this. And I'm not saying that the Giants have to take a quarterback with that 6 pick. Mm-hmm. But they better take one in that first round. They have to. Because Gettleman is going out there saying how, we said last year that Eli Manning, we bet on Eli Manning and he proved to us that it was a good choice. And we're like, and I'm thinking to myself, what? Like, did you watch Eli Manning last year? Like, I love Eli. What he did for that organization. The man's won 2 Super Bowls. He beat the Patriots twice. I am actually forever indebted to Eli Manning. But I'm sorry, Eli Manning is at the end of that rope.
Yes.
That rope is about to snap. Okay? If you are the Giants, if you're a Giants fan, and this team exits the first round with 2 picks and does not get a quarterback, you are well within your right to go completely bonkers on them. Like, you should riot. You should lose your minds on Twitter if the Giants don't select a quarterback. And I would even argue that they should take one with that number 6 pick. If Dwayne Haskins is sitting there, I love Dwayne Haskins. Dwayne Haskins has a big NFL quarterback body. He makes smart reads. His NFL IQ is off the charts. Mm-hmm. If you're the Giants and you don't take that guy, I think you're nuts. Now, if you want to wait and say, well, we have another need, we will take a quarterback with the 17 pick, okay, fine. As long as you get one in the first round. Like, the Giants have to take a quarterback. Even as a Dolphins fan, knowing how badly they need a quarterback, if they don't take one in the first round, I'm okay with that. Dolphins have so many other needs. There's a part of me that almost would rather see them build up their offensive line first before getting their franchise quarterback. Because if you draft your franchise quarterback, he's going to get killed this year behind that offensive line. So I'd almost rather see you build the offensive line up because they need another tackle. They've got their left tackle set, which is great. That's one of the most important positions in all of football. They still need a right tackle, though. I would actually like to see them take a guy like Jawan Taylor out of Florida so that you solidify the line, and then next year you get Tua when you go 1-15. But just again, really quick, going back to the Giants, man, you got to take a quarterback in that first round. I love Eli. You all love Eli. He's done so much for that organization. It is time to move on from him. It's time to move on. All things end in football, and they end usually much quicker than they do in other sports. You have to move on from Eli Manning. It is time to get your new franchise quarterback. And if I'm the Giants, I'm taking Dwayne Haskins, man. That guy, to me, he screams franchise quarterback to me. I just don't see a lot of holes in his game. He's accurate. He doesn't throw a lot of picks at all. He's smart. He played for a big-time university and a big-time coach in a pro-style system. His football IQ is amazing. He's big. He's strong. And he's not a mobile quarterback, but he's shifty enough in the pocket, to be able to avoid the big hit. I'm sorry. You look at Dwayne Haskins' numbers, and, I just don't know how he's a first-round talent. He's easily a first-round talent and a first half of the first-round talent. If you're the Giants and you're sitting there at 6, just take him. Take that guy. You will be happy for it. I believe he might be able to beat out Eli for the job in camp. And then you've got your quarterback of the future, and he's got a head start on his career. So, very interesting draft coming up. It's, again, not shockingly, a lot is riding on quarterbacks early round. You're going to have 3 guys, I think, who are going to go in the first round between Murray, Haskins, Locke, possibly Daniel Jones. My God, if the Dolphins draft Daniel Jones, you're going to see me lose my mind because I can't stand it. It's not that I hate him. He's just Ryan Tannehill 2.0, and that's not what you need. And I don't want a quarterback from Duke, no offense. No, I do mean some offense there. In that case, I do mean offense. Duke, I don't want a Duke quarterback. I don't want a Duke quarterback. I want an Ohio State quarterback, for sure. I'll take an Ohio State quarterback like Dwayne Haskins. Mm-hmm. I don't want a Duke quarterback. And I don't want a guy who reminds me of Ryan Tannehill. No pocket presence, completely aloof to the pass rush. No, I don't need that. I don't need that guy. I had that guy for 7 years, somehow. I don't want that guy. But this draft in the first round, though, very heavy on defense. This is a very strong defensive line draft. Very strong edge draft. Mm-hmm. So you're going to see a lot of those guys go in the first half of the first round, I think. A lot of that. So should be a fun draft. Can't wait. I'm super excited for Thursday. The only thing I hate about the NFL draft is that they broke it up into 4 days. I hate that. I used to love it when it was just Saturday and Sunday because I would just drink and eat and just watch just like soak in the nerdism of Mel Kiper and McShay and all those other guys. It was really great. It is fun though. I do love the NFL draft. I'm such a sucker for the NFL draft. I'm disappointed though because Tim's not coming over this year to watch it with me because he usually watches the first round, but he's going to see Avengers on Thursday night. So I'll be going to see Avengers 2 probably Friday or Saturday.
No, you're not going to get to talk about it this week because we are not going to be doing our show next week on Monday because I am going to be playing in a tournament at the TPC Cromwell course.
The River Highlands?
I am very excited to play there. I am playing in another tournament tomorrow, hopefully, as long as I don't get this stomach bug that seems to be going around in my household. Haven't been feeling great over the last several days.
Sorry.
Anyway, so other than that, thank you guys for listening and watching however you took this in. We really appreciate it. We're going to be back on Friday. At some point in time, we'll be back on Friday at around 10-ish. And then we will not be here on next Monday. So not sorry, I'm playing a golf tournament. So if something big comes up, we might try and work something out some point in time during the week. If something huge happens, something huge doesn't happen, we'll just see you again on the following Friday.
We may be here Friday since a lot of our Saturday shows are turning into Friday shows, so who knows? Yeah, we may just do a Friday show.
We are going to do Friday this week, and then we'll probably do Friday the next week. So, I mean, we'll be here soon.
Friday is the new Saturday.
It is pretty much. I mean, it's easier for both of us, I think. There's lots going on the weekends, and it's just
Saturdays
tough.
in the spring are tough.
Yeah.
Projects galore,
And then in the summer, it's not going to get any easier. Kids are home all the time. It's like, got
making noise. Yeah.
I mean, even during the week, but at least you get like, hey, it's the week. You still got work to do. And there's chances that, I got my son's going to some camps and stuff like that. So we got some stuff. Week is easy. During the week, get it in, knock it out. Half hour, 45 minutes, hour tops. All right. Thank you guys for listening, watching. You can find us at anywhere podcasts are played. www.sportsandsorts.libsyn.com. That's LIBSYN.com. You can find all our social media there. You can find us at facebook.com/Shane and the Bryman, at Shane and Bryman on Twitter, and you can also find me on Twitter at Einhorn-Finkel.
You can find me on Twitter at _Bry_man.
And of course, you can find what was I going to say? I already did our website. I was going to say something else, but I can't remember what it was. Do you remember what I was going to say? Do you have any idea what I was going to say?
No.
Good.
I can't read your mind.
Oh, Avengers. Yeah, Avengers. I'm wearing my Avengers shirt that I have had since the first Avengers movie. I bought before that. I wore this to the first Avengers movie. I wore it to the second Avengers movie. I will be wearing it to the third one that I'm going to be seeing not this weekend, but the following weekend, because my son's birthday is this weekend. Friday, we're going to see Brian Regan live.
Well, this is the fourth Avengers movie, though. Well, Infinity War.
Oh, that's right. The fourth one. Yes.
Ultron.
I went to all three. That's right. Ultron. Yeah. So I forgot about. I'm like comparing these two last movies because it's a two-part.
It's one, right? It's a two-part movie.
So I've worn it to all
3 hour
so
runtime too,
I will
baby.
wear it to the fourth.
Bring your piss jar into the theater. 3 hours.
Yeah, 3 hours. That's a long one. And I've been watching a bunch of the movies too. I've caught up on. I've watched all three Iron Man. I've watched. I watched the Civil War. I watched Avengers: Infinity War again. Yeah. I have Hulk and Doctor Strange on the docket because I want to watch. I just love the movie The Hulk, the Incredible Hulk, the one with Edward Norton. I love that. I know it's not really a part of it is, but it isn't because Mark Ruffalo now. But but I love that movie. I am enjoying the whole thing. I mean, I've liked the second and third Iron Man a little bit more than I previously did. Still don't like them a lot, but they're better. First Iron Man I watched again. I was like, this movie's just awesome. Like, this movie's just so cool.
First Iron Man really is great. And it's the one that started it all.
And the Civil War, I liked a lot more than I liked the first time around.
I love Civil War.
I liked it, but I liked it a lot more this time around. And, I mean, the thing that's going to stink is that Captain America likely going to die in the Endgame. And his trilogy was the best out of all of them. Between First Avenger, Winter Soldier, Civil War, those three movies were just...
Off the top of my head, Winter Soldier's probably still my number 2 in the overall... Because Guardians of the Galaxy is the one, and that's a given. Winter Soldier's probably my number 2, though.
For me, it's like Avengers is the first one. That first Avengers movie still was just so perfect, the way that they did everything. I loved it.
Yeah,
and
it was great. And
then Iron Man is in there for me. Incredible Hulk is probably in my top 5. I really like that one a lot.
Doctor Strange is in my top 5, probably towards the bottom, but it's in there because I love.
I
also love Doctor Strange growing up. I love the comics, so
yeah, I like Doctor Strange. I've liked a lot of them, but there's certain ones that I really dislike. Like, I didn't love Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Liked Guardians of the Galaxy. That was a lot of fun.
Yes.
Ant-Man and Wasp. Those are fun movies, but they weren't.
Yeah, they wouldn't factor into my.
There's just so many. All the Thors. The Thors are pretty good. Thor, the first Thor was good. Thor: The Dark World was pretty good. Thor: Ragnarok
I
was pretty
really
good.
like Ragnarok.
Well, it was more like Guardians.
Yeah.
There's a lot of one-liners.
Yeah. Ragnarok would be in my top 10, I bet.
Yeah.
I probably would.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of movies, and they're all pretty good. Pretty good to good. And Avengers is definitely my favorite in that. So,
Kevin Feige, baby.
Ultron, not a fan. I was just because I'm disappointed because Ultron is one of my favorite villains in that universe. But
Yeah. No, I understand
do?
that.
All right.
They kind of cheeseballed him there.
Yeah, they did. All right. So thank you guys for watching, listening, however you took it in. We will see you again on Friday at around 10ish. Hit that notification bell if you want to be notified whenever we go. Subscribe. Join the other 56 people that have subscribed to our channel. All 56 of them. Thank you guys for listening on the podcast side. We are,
56 of them.
we're doing well on the podcast side still. I think we broke last month's amount already this month, so that's good. I appreciate that. Thanks for the downloads there.
Thank you.
We'll see you guys again on Friday, 10ish. Peace out.
You stay classy, Planet Globe.
Bye.